Hey, happy Sunday morning, everybody. It's me and Mary. We've got our coffee and tea. We're heading out to Daytona International Speedway today for qualifying. And before qualifying starts, I should mention right now it's about 9 o'clock in the morning. The gate's already opened, and I was hoping to get there already, but, you know, we like to sleep a little bit. We're still wishing that we probably slept.
I like to sleep a lot more.
But it's qualifying this afternoon for the Daytona 500, and in this morning we're going to be able to go through Sprint Fanzone, which we love to do because it gives you access to the garages and tours and drivers. And NASCAR is one of those sports, at least in Daytona leading up to the 500, that's always been a really fun time for us because it's very accessible for you to get into the sport and feel like you're part of the teams that you're rooting for. You know, the garages that we'll show you, they're all open so that you can see what's going on inside them. You can usually go around and see when cars are testing on the track during other days, although that used to be open a lot more than what it is now. The drivers are usually around, you know, meeting people and signing autographs and things like that. It's a really fun experience, so we'll take you along with us. By the way, this is the New Smyrna Raceway, or New Smyrna Speedway rather, and this is on the corner of 44 and 415 in New Smyrna. It's actually kind of at like a crossroads over here, but this is a small track, and you'll find during speed weeks, like now, you see a couple folks racing here or walking by. A lot of the NASCAR circuit folks, whether they're in NASCAR or Nationwide Series, or I still call it Busch Series, so you'll hear me say things interchangeably here today, they'll come here and they'll race sprint cars and other types of cars, you know, lower series on the track, just because they love racing and they want to get acclimated back into the sport for the season. So this is also another big weekend for them. And to get one thing out of the way before we start, because I'm sure folks are going to watch this video that are fans of NASCAR, I'm a Jimmy Johnson fan. You can hate on us all you want. Mary is a fan as well. We've been watching him since he was in the Busch Series, and long before a lot of bandwagon folks may have jumped on the cause here for him. But I will stay a Jimmy fan up through the point where he stops racing. I believe that he is the Michael Jordan of the sport. And despite other folks winning, you know, in between years that he's not getting a trophy, I truly believe he's the best that has existed. Other than, secondly, I would say Richard Petty. A lot of other folks can have their Earnhardts, and I love, you know, what Dale Earnhardt did for the sport, and Junior, and all those other guys. I've met enough of them over the years to say that they're all really wonderful people, but Jimmy Johnson is the man for me, and Richard Petty was the man and still is the man until the man no longer walks the earth, and then he'll still be the man. So we'll probably see him out at the track today. And actually over here on State Road 415 and Pioneer Trail, this is Sobek's Cabbage Patch. So in a couple of weeks when we have Bike Week, this bar is very famous for having coleslaw wrestling out there. So they'll get volunteers, women, to wear bikinis, and they'll get into a pit with coleslaw and wrestle. Good, wholesome family fun.
It smells wonderful. Yes,
it does smell amazing with that vinegar smell out there in the heat during the day. It's fantastic. Now comes the challenge of trying to find parking here. And all of this construction, by the way, we've been talking about it for months. It's called Daytona Rising, so obviously not going to be in place for this Daytona 500, but it's coming along pretty nicely. So we're walking over towards the main building at Daytona, right there. You can see my finger. One thing you should note when you come here, if you ever come to a race at Daytona, it's different than other sports in that there's really not a lot of parking on site. So when you park, generally you're parking at like businesses across the street, and places will bang you out, depending on the races, between 20 bucks maybe to upwards of like 75 or 100 bucks at times just to park, depending on how close you want to get to the race. Because when you come to the track, be prepared, you're going to walk miles. Hey, it's Bill Friends Jr. Good looking out. And outside of the main building for Daytona, you find all these past champions have their footprints and handprints in here. So There you go, Dale Jr. fans. Yeah, he's got tiny feet. Here's the man with Mary's shadow.
Oh my goodness.
Cast over him.
Sorry.
Jimmy again. Kevin Harvick. Kevin Harvick, out of all the folks that we've met so far, probably one of the most interesting cats.
Dale Jr.?
Dale Jr. again.
Dale Jr.?
So you get all these people. There you go, Dale Sr. statue over here. And this was the Walk of Fame. Dun 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 dun. It's Dale Sr. saying yes. Here's Earnhardt's gloves. Much like Thor's hammer, if you're worthy, you could put them on. Hey, here's a sample car for Richard Petty driving experience, which, by the way, I want to tie this into the theme park vlogs. Richard Petty driving experience at Disney is getting torn up. So it's no longer going to exist because they're replacing it with more parking and better alternatives over there for transportation near the hub. So you'll still be able to do it over here in Daytona, just not over by the race, by the theme parks right there. Look at this crazy cutaway too. This is pretty sick, right? Get your gas can, push it in here. I don't want to screw around with it too much. Mary would make a good catch can person. Get the fuel in here. Steering wheel unclicks so you can get out easy. It's pretty awesome. Oh, don't lean against the car, I'm touching everything. Sorry about that, folks. Don't do like Kyle does. I think I might need this camouflage Jimmy Johnson shirt because it has a little beer holder in the front so you don't have to get your hands cold. Here's some information on Daytona Rising, by the way. 14 elevators, 40 escalators, which is really a bonus because they've got a lot of stairs in here now. Social areas, 11 neighborhoods the size of a football field. What? Mary was running ahead.
Yes, I am.
Like, I don't care about that place. We're heading into the mysterious Daytona Tunnel of Doom. Ooh! We're going under the track. Ooh! Whoa. Oh, here comes a car. We made it through. We're on the way to the Shire. Someday this week we're going to get to the fan zone. This track supports all little people too. So we're on the shuttle going over to the fan zone, and you can see like these are all of the campers that are hooked up to campground sites. So you got electricity and running water, and people camp out here for the entire week leading up to the race. So that's pretty awesome. It's all loaded in here with these guys. So I should mention that a lot of the drivers' trailers are actually in here too. So right outside of the fan zone area, the midway, you have the driver trailers, which is pretty sweet. A lot of times people are just walking around back there. And if you are coming to fan zone, this is an area where I literally have met every major driver except for Tony Stewart in this area during racing events, usually during practices and stuff like that, but incredibly accessible folks are. Talking like Yoda. So this is walking into the fan zone. You have a store over here and some signage. You can rent the video screen to watch the simulcast on their equipment. There's a big video screen. Some minor drivers like Nationwide park their cars in those garages. You can rent scanners here if you don't bring your own, so you can listen to the driver's frequencies. You have a big stage where they do interviews and bands play. The bistro for beer and food. So you can watch the cars going through inspection. We'll get back to this in a minute. It's pretty interesting. It's a little dry for some folks, but they put a template on the car and they gauge everything to make sure it's up to spec. You can also go in the pit area back there too as well. This is where you would sign up for tours for the day, but I believe it's all done for the day. We missed it because we got here too late. So these are the actual garages that the cars use when they're at the track here. This one's empty. This is for Michael McDowell. The tour takes you actually in that area and walk all the way around. I've done that a couple of times and gotten like Chad Knaus to sign stuff and some other folks to say hello. Richard Petty's usually walking around. We'll check it out from above. I don't think that we're going to be able to get in there today because it's sold out before we got here. Not so much sold out because they're not selling, it's free, but booked up. So there's Johnny Slaughter. We'll go by some of the garages where most of the popular drivers are, and you'll see how many people are actually there trying to get a peek. This garage is empty, but it's all tires. That's pretty crazy, right? And they have their stickers on them that they've been inspected, so they've all hit their inspection. Here's Danica Patrick's box. Oh. And you can see her toolbox and everything, and video screen up there. So, very cool. He's using his iPad. I've met Danica before, so I'm about 6'2". She's like up to like here. It's really funny, but she was a sweetheart. Casey Mears. By the way, this is like a sweet spot back here. If you're ever coming here for autograph hunting, I've met a ton of people over here before. And if you're not hounding people, they will come over to sign. So I've met Junior over here before when he's ignored people that look like they're autograph hunters and came over and signed a flag for us and a couple other things in the past. Not all at the same time, but this is a good spot. And this is the other inspection station. So we've got teams waiting to get their cars put into the inspection area. Only 3 crew members allowed at a time. And you see the NASCAR officials over here watching everything. And they will watch and look at everything like a hawk. Over here on this table, you'll see all the different templates that they have for spoilers. Every different piece on the car that has any type of aerodynamic, they're going to measure. Watch this over here. Taking that stick, checking the rear windshield, looking at the air flaps. I don't know if you guys can see that overarching larger template that's coming down. It's going to measure everything. So everything has regulation in the rule books of how it can be, so that they don't gain an unfair advantage. This is Bobby Labonte's car, by the way. So now they put those other templates on the side. They have other side drag that people don't want to cheat on. They will check everything down to the engine. So a lot of folks think that racing is just driving around in circles, and while it is that to a certain extent, these cars are designed to be equals, and there's restrictor plates here at Daytona, so they need to make sure that all cars are a level playing field, and whatever advantages that you may have are within the rule book. Also, they have a stack of lollipops. So Reed Sorensen's car is coming in now, Golden Corral. So here's the front spoiler templates. You're going to put that on to make sure that it's within code as well. And so here are the driver's trailers for the pits during the week. You see Danica Patrick is over here. And we've got Jimmy Johns. We got Kevin Harvick over there. A lot of times you see the drivers going back and forth to their trailers. And this is when, if you're on the Speedway tour of the pits, is really good because the drivers will actually be around, and we've gotten folks to shake hands and take pictures and stuff like that in the past. So here's Kevin Harvick's box, his garage. That's pretty cool. I want that rug for my house. Stewart House Racing, that's pretty cool. It's Ryan Newman's crew working on exhaust system. That's pretty cool. And these guys, I know that a lot of these guys hate that the windows are open on their garages, but that's one of the things about Daytona when they remodeled the track initially a few years back. Everything is open here. So here's Denny Hamlin. And we talked about aerodynamics earlier and thinking that it's all about the track. I know some of these guys have their computers hidden now, but when you come during testing, you'll see like a bank of computers where folks are running calculations on just how small of a percentage they can manipulate the aerodynamics on their cars so that they can perform faster. It's really incredible. Look at this Jeff Gordon's garage. These guys have to clean up the windows because people keep writing stuff all over it. This is Jeff Gordon's last season in NASCAR, his last Daytona 500. So people think that it's okay to write in permanent magic marker on his window. This is Junior's box and his garage. You'll see that there's always people here waiting for him. And he rarely stays here, so I've seen Junior come into his garage many times. Doesn't really acknowledge people, comes in, does things, and he'll come in, look around, and talk to his crew, and then walk right back out. So this isn't a really good spot to get Dale to sign stuff. This Kyle Busch, the perennial enemy. And you'll notice, like here, you see the metal? There's actually slots there that you can shove stuff underneath for drivers to sign, like hats or die-cast cars and things like that, posters. But some of them that don't want to be bothered will put that there, and that's kind of the limit of what they can block from the window. So they'll put some tool cases there too, but when people don't want to deal with the fans, and you have the tool case here too. Let me go on record and say this: Kyle Busch is the giant jerk. He is the biggest jerk in NASCAR. I've got his autograph, so I'm going to be a hypocrite because he did sign stuff for me. But he is a giant jerk. This is my guy, Jimmy. Jimmy's also blocking a little bit here. He's got his thing here. I have never seen Jimmy in his garage, ever. Other than walking towards the front when I've been here on quiet days or dead days. I've seen him around the trailer, and we've talked to members of his crew here before. Everyone's been really nice. They've given us like stuff, but you know, we've just never seen him in person. Right there you see the touchpad has a whole bunch of stuff on it. Let's see what kind of apps they have. Let's see what kind of apps. Jimmy Johnson uses Word. Oh my god! Here's his mobile tool bag too, by the way, so you can check and see if he has all Lowe's tools or Cobalt. In the past, I've made fun because they had a tool that, like a drill, that was DeWalt in here that was not Lowe's. Just saying. Here's Kurt Busch. I'm surprised. I didn't think that he was even racing because I believe that he's lost his mind. If you've watched the news recently or follow the sport, I'm very surprised that he's even racing, but he is. And he's got a great spot in the garages here, so that's interesting. Here's Casey Kane, it's Mary's favorite. Here's a funny story. When we came to the Pepsi 400, I'm not sure what they call it these days, a few years ago, we were leaving after the race, and we had somebody that had a couple of adult beverages that kept asking us over and over again. This was Casey Kane's first year racing, by the way. What do you think about that Casey Kane? He's not doing too bad, is he? That Casey Kane, he's going to be something. Over and over again for the entire trip.
A mile and a half walk back to the car.
And for those Earnhardt fans, Austin Dillon's here. He's racing the 3. Perennial nice guy favorite, Michael Waltrip, with his Dream Machine car. His team's in there just sitting on the... So we totally lucked out because we walked up at the tent at the last moment to see if there was any cancellations, and we got in. This is karma, people. So we're on the other side of the garages now. We're over by the trailers. This is where some of the offices are for the owners, so they'll go in here and do their work. That's Rich and Bob.
We have 31 degrees of banking in 3 and 4 and 1 and 2. 18 degrees on the front. About 7 degrees all the way across the back stretch. Normally, if they're coming in or they're getting ready to get prepped for a race, you'll see their golf carts coming in and out. And be careful because they don't slow down too much. We also have all the haulers with the teams. 2 cars, enough equipment to rebuild one while they're here. And if they crash 2 cars, well, they've got Charlotte's about 7.5 to 8 hours away. They'll bring another one down. Not a lot of activity here right now. There is inspections going on. We have 3 inspection stations here. Cars staging up for the second inspection station. There's story cards to the left here. If you see those and you want to get one, you see one of your favorite driver, or any driver you see want one, just feel free to walk over and have at it. Once you get back here on this side, everything's based on points as far as when they draw.
It looks all different here when you're not on the other side of that wall.
Yes. Or the point spot. They bring them in. They bring in their rims. They take them down to the Goodyear tire mounting station. Okay. They'll bring in pallets of rims. They take them down. They mount the tires and they fill them full of air.
I wish you guys could smell all of the rubber that's on the tires right here. Those gas cans are pretty awesome.
That's where they have the infamous cloth. Sure. That's it. You can actually see it go down on the car, and then they bring in the other templates and measure everything out.
Is this the same thing we do about the other building?
No, that's weight and height, and there's I forget how many lasers. It's like 40 different lasers in there. They
You have to keep closing the door.
So we're going to get to walk through the inspection area here, right around the other side.
That's where the engine tech is.
So we're walking through here, and we've got Jeff Gordon's car and his crew, and Jimmy Johnson's car as well. This is Jimmy's car. It doesn't get cooler than this. This is going to be the car that potentially is in the 500 and wins it. With my wife standing next to it. Standing up now, I don't want people to see because we're standing over here hovering. Jimmy's team is professional, and that's what they do. They are the man. Look at that. There's Brad Kozlowski's car back there too. He's another jerk. Jerky jerk. Here it goes. You can see back here, we're wandering into no man's land now. This is where they're pulling engines and testing them here too. So you have a NASCAR official overseeing everything. There goes Kozlowski. Oh yeah.
Number 20.
You got to get a card from the big sandwich from Jimmy John's. That's a good way to hand out cards.
That's awesome.
That guy's eating a sandwich. So you're in a live area here too, by the way. So these cars are going to mow you right down if you don't move out of the way. So you got Danica. She's got her jackets hanging up here too.
No other crew jackets.
Yeah. What other sports allow you to walk on the field when the Super Bowl teams are out there getting ready for things? Or World Series is about ready to be played.
Yeah, there he goes walking away.
There goes Chad Knaus walking away. Kyle Busch's team is making stuff on the grill. We should definitely go get some stuff. We're coming up on
He's really
Jimmy,
great.
Jeff, we got Jimmy, you got Casey, got a car coming. This is way cool. Of course, here's Jimmy's garage spot. Let's get a good look right now. So over here, we're letting air out of the tires. That's what they do. That's what we just learned before. They get the tires, they let the air out, and they fill them up with nitrogen. Here we go. The Hendricks case. We got Ricky Stenhouse Jr. coming over here. So after the cars come out of their garages, they come up through here, out onto the track, and you get all their pit stalls over here.
Different adjustments. That's why they all got a little rolling toolbox. Yeah, sometimes they put a little air in, raise it up one side, the other side, make some adjustments. They check everything on it. So this is the last part. Do you recognize him? Just take a picture. But since they ran a different car last night, most of them, they got to do it all over again today for the qualifying. But most of them are a different car. Some of them might be running the same car. But
here comes Gordon's team. This is the last time that Jeff Gordon will qualify for the Daytona 500. There's Jeff's helmet. So this is their other inspection station where they're checking on weight, and they shoot lasers around the car to make sure everything is appropriate as it should be. It's a car post-inspection. The driver was outside taking pictures with everybody while we were walking around the garage area. So one thing that's changed from prior years is that you used to be able to just walk in here during like this event, but I'm guessing because they're doing qualifying soon, they have to set up. You used to be able to walk right in the pits. So Daytona does offer tours on a daily basis that will take you into the pits, you know, without the cars being here, of course, but it's really fun to do. This is Victory Lane, so when the race is over, this is where the car comes to, and they do the trophy presentation for the 500 with the confetti and all that good stuff, and they do the trophy presentation. You can take pictures in here from time to time. They have a picture taking opportunity. And you can see some of the construction and what's been taking place from the inside now. So there's the Daytona Tower. And you see the scaffolding that's up around it, where they're doing the extra add-ons. And the seats have been replaced. I think they've added like 40,000 seats now that were not here previously. And there's a ton over in that section too. So you see all the girders that are going up so they can add more. It's going to be massive. So this track is, I mean, it's legendary. When you play a racing game, it's Daytona. When you think about racing, it's Daytona. I think it's probably a bigger event for me than the actual NASCAR championship. And it's right here in our backyards. Hey, we're inside the NASCAR store in the fan zone.
I'm sorry?
Look at this. Mason jar glasses, Daytona logo. How much would you think this would be? Just guess that price.
$15.99. Oh.
10 bucks.
I was off.
Mary wants to get a rhinestone cup.
No, I
It
don't.
says Daytona. You can go full on 80s glasses with the checkerboard finish. You can get a Speed Week shirt. They have a red cup koozie
Look at
for your
that.
beer.
That's awesome.
What is it? $5? It's free 99. It's $12, so that is more than the actual glass cup that you can buy. This is a dress you get when you want to be classy, but yet also casual. I do like this though. Would you let me wear this out in public?
God, no.
But
Well, you can go out in public with it, but not with me. And you can wear your shorts to match.
Yeah, that's the Florida uniform, by the way. My camo shorts.
And your flip-flops.
This would be perfect. It's perfect. Now you look like a 10-year-old boy. This is the coolest koozie in the world. This is two wide tires for racing.
Plastic.
And you can hear Mary yelling at me in the background. Daytona International Speedway. But it's 15 bucks. I don't know. So we're up top on the fan deck now, so we came up the backwards way. But on that side, you get to see over the garages, and you can watch the start-finish line track. This side, you can see the far back of the track. One thing I want to mention, while beer and food is expensive here, like it is at most sporting events, you can bring in your own beer, you can bring in your own food. There's cooler restrictions. You can check the website, but it's a pretty fair-sized cooler that you're allowed to bring in and avoid paying for anything at the track. I mean, every time that we come to races here, we bring our own coolers, and we have complete food and enough drinks to more than last the entire race. So one thing to note, actually, just a small minor thing, see Florida Hospital Care Center out there. I believe that this is the first year that they've swapped out Halifax Health Center, which is actually right across the street, where they would airlift people in and out, because you can't get in and out, obviously, when there's a race going on here for emergencies. But they have that Florida Hospital Care Center now. It's a new sponsor, new hospital. And here's your standings bar. And they have this big Sprint Vision here in the fan zone, so you can watch all the action on the TV, even though you're here. This is a view from the fan zone just up above. So you see all the trailers down here. Pretty cool. Trying to investigate the new areas over here. I don't know what this is going to be. I would have thought this was like a food thing, but this is pretty impressive. And we're going to take that escalator for the first time. I'm guessing this is going to be some type of water feature, like a water fountain, because they've got water pieces there. Oh, it's an escalator that works. This is our first time going up this thing, much better than the stairs. Oh, coming up on the new pavilion. It looks magical. Actually, there's a lot of room, and this is going to be good under here when it rains outside, because usually you get soaked here.
Oh, yeah.
Speedway sausages. Hey, we're up here now. We're just going to check out what the track looks like over here. People are already sitting in their seats. I think we're going to head down there over by the Daytona Tower. All this wind. I know this looks really kind of basic, but compared to what this track was before, this is really gorgeous. You got a lot of seating area down there now. All these little tables to hang out. I love it. You got plenty of restaurants now, and you got a bar. Who needs food when you have a bar with peanuts? By the way, free Wi-Fi. All other sports stadiums should be doing the same thing by now. I mean, give me a break. Free Wi-Fi for like 180,000 people here. So this is where we chose to sit. You can see behind us how far it is. With every seat open to basically sit in is probably the most difficult choice I've ever had coming here before. I almost like to sit up one more level. You can see up there, but I can still see everything here. Like I can see the start-finish line, I can see the final turn, I can see turn 1, and I can see the pits. I just don't know if off the top one more.
We ask now that you bless, Lord, all the teams, all the drivers, the fans, Lord, all the safety personnel, and the officials, Lord, safety, Lord, as today's qualifying commences. Father, we thank you for all the many blessings you give us, and pray that all we do here today would honor you. Amen.
This is on top of the Daytona Tower. See all these folks up there already. Spotters and people taking pictures, video. See that?
Finally, some cars are revving. Let's do this.
Ding dang, we missed the crash. People are toast.
As the cars are going by, I turn to Mary. I'm like, it smells so awesome here with the burning rubber. She's like, no, no, it doesn't.
Let's see if we can see in Danica's car. That's as close as my zoom will get. Let's check out Tony Stewart. Is he giving us rude gestures in there? I can't see. So there you go. Jeff Gordon just got the pole for the 500, his last 500. He had a little bit of help from Jimmy pushing him there, but that's really awesome. That's the way to do it. Qualifying is over. Now we're just standing over here checking out the cars. We're going to head back to our car. Jeff Gordon has the pole for next week. We'll see how things work out. So we're back home from the track. That was a really fun day today, and I can't imagine how crowded it's going to be next week. I know the crowds kind of throw a little bit of the fun factor off a little bit, but going to the Daytona 500 is just phenomenal. The summer race is always great, but it always tends to rain. The Daytona 500 usually has a better shot at better weather, but the races leading up to it are equally as fun. So I know that typically I'll take off the week leading up to Daytona, at least for the dual race that happens, I think, this Thursday afternoon. That's a really fun race to go to if you're in town and you don't want to deal with a gigantic crowd, but still have the real awesome feel of racing happening. So I'm not making it out this year for that, so I'm very happy that I got out to Daytona for the qualifying event. The group qualifying today was the first time that they've done that, and that was a lot of fun. So we saw one wipeout. That probably wasn't fun for the folks that were involved, but it was fun for the crowd, so it got everybody really psyched up for the race, and this Sunday is going to be phenomenal. If you're interested in the race, I know that Kid Rock's doing the pregame concert. We've seen a bunch of folks perform before, and if you invest in the Fanzone package, which gets you into the area that we saw today in our video, prior to the race, they also let you into the pit stall area, and they let you into the infield grass area where they'll have the concert. We've seen Keith Urban up close before, and a couple other bands as well. That is a lot of fun. You get to sign the start-finish line and stuff like that. But today, couldn't beat it. 20 bucks, got your ticket for the qualifying, got you into the fan zone, got your ability to perhaps see your drivers in the garages and things like that. So, you know, I can't speak enough about Daytona. I always have a great experience when I'm out there. So, anyway, on that note, I'm going to sign off for today. And thank you for all the likes and the comments and the subscriptions. Treat others the way you want to be treated. Have a great day. Have a great night. See you guys tomorrow.